and thank you for agreeing to be a Maverick Party scrutineer for the Battle River Crowfoot EDA. A scrutineer is actually a very, very important part of the election process. It is what ensures that we get a fair count. It is also what ensures that our voters and supporters are getting a fair chance at voting. As voters, one can go in and vote, regardless of whether they're vaccinated or whether they're not. They can also go in and vote if they're masked or if they're not. The polls are not allowed to refuse anyone that is eligible to vote the right to vote, as long as they're arriving between the voting times. You will see that some of the polls will have lineups outside. The ruling with them is that if they have arrived before the poll closes, everybody in that lineup votes. Scrutineers during the day are expected to go in and sign up with the poll supervisor. There's a sheet that they'll ask you to fill out, just with your name, your address, phone number, etc., and then to sign it, just to make it official with Elections Canada that you are actually in the area and that you are eligible to be a voter, but also be a scrutineer. Please do not wear any kind of clothing that has the party name on it or that is the color of the party. This is actually quite important. So just regular everyday clothing, but just make sure that it's not indicative of Maverick Party. Now, black is in the Maverick Party, but it is allowed to be worn, so don't feel that you have to go out and buy special clothes. When you do go in, the daytime scrutineers will often go in and out throughout the day just to ensure that the process of voting is being respected and that everybody is being given a fair opportunity to vote. They will be asked to sign in and sign out. Please take your own pen. Please observe the social distancing requirements as well as the poll requirements for masking. This means that, yes, all representatives, not voters, but representatives must be masked. You can wear a mask that is supplied to you, one that you have yourself, or a face shield. So please go in and just be respectful. Sign the visitor log each time you go in and out, and just observe. Don't interfere, but unless you see something that's not going on correctly, then you need to bring it to the attention of the poll supervisor. If you're getting nowhere with the poll supervisor, please call me right away. It is very important that I am there to, or that I know, so that I can phone our returning officer right away and have the matter taken care of. Voter clerks, poll clerks, and DORs and poll supervisors are not to be influencing votes. They're also not to allow others to influence the votes. We have to be very respectful as well that we are not influencing the vote. You can use your cell phone inside the polling station, or a polling place. I apologize. The voting station is the place that they go up to within the voting in the polling places. You cannot take photos, and no one else can take photos within a polling place. There will be voter sheets in a folder with the table, or by the table that you are to collect. Those I will need. You actually do not need to bring them to me though. Once you're outside, just snap a quick picture of them and send them to my cell phone. My cell phone number is 780-679-7927. I do need those throughout the day, so I do ask that you send them to me. If you are not able to do daytime, that's okay. We definitely need people to be there in the evening. You are to arrive 15 minutes prior to the poll closing at very latest, and you stay until the vote count is finished. You will be required to sign the seal on the box, the ballot box, once all the ballots have been counted and they are put into their ballot boxes and sealed before they're returned to the voting central office. You just need to put initials on that seal, and again, bring your own pen. You are required to not touch any surface whatsoever other than that, though, or where you're signing in a note. You are not to ever handle anybody's ID, but you are to make sure that people are actually showing ID to be able to vote. Again, the crucial part of this process, the scrutineer's job, though, is to be there for the count. So if you're not able to go during the day, and you've indicated that to me already, can you please be there, though, during the count? Daytime is nice to have in and outs, and it doesn't have to be often. It just every once in a while, go in, make sure things are going as they're supposed to be for the voting, and then leave again. Again, not interfering, though, with anybody voting. Or influencing, for that matter. No name tags or Maverick Party stuff. Some voter stations may have a little white name tag that they want you. Only put your first name on it, please. We are not allowed to have anything that says Maverick Party or any other party. If you observe another scrutineer, though, that is representing themselves in one way or another, please also bring that to the attention of the poll supervisor and also to my attention. Occasionally, a poll can move. It rarely happens, but it has happened. Pipes burst, whatever the case may be. If that happens, we just want to make sure that the process is being followed as far as that everybody's given the chance to vote. As far as anything else, really, honestly, you're just there to make sure that there's no problems. You may be asked to verify a ballot. If an individual has marked the ballot, but it's not in the quote-unquote proper way, sometimes due to disability or frailness or whatever the case may be, an individual may mark a ballot, with a scribble or something. As long as it's clear that that's who they're voting for, then that vote counts. A ballot, though, that has more than one candidate marked off is not a good ballot. That is considered a spoiled ballot. Other markings, say the individual has marked the ballot with a scribble or an X or something, but there's a little mark because maybe their pencil dropped or their pen dropped in another spot, or they, brushed it or something. That's not a spoiled ballot. It has to be clear that the individual was voting for one candidate and one candidate only on their ballot. But sometimes accidents happen too. So that is something that you're actually there for. You will be called over to verify it, as well as other scrutineers from other parties. That's why it's important you're there, though, because bias often can play a part in some of these decisions. And we want to make sure that every vote that's cast for us is actually counted as a vote that's cast for us. One of the things to be watching for, though, too, is that poll clerks or DORs that are counting the ballots or poll supervisors are not being biased towards any party. If that is happening, again, phone call to me instantly, because that has to be dealt with. Other than that, it's pretty plain and straightforward, and actually a lot of fun. So go in, have fun. Oh, one more thing. On your clothing, make sure there is no other offensive types of pictures, graphics, or words. It's okay if you do have writing on your shirt or whatever. Just make sure that it's nothing that would be considered influential or would create a bias towards the vote, or non-offensive. So, because you would be asked to leave if that was the case. So, and we don't want to be kicked out of the polls. So, yeah, just go in, be respectful, have fun, and again, if there's any questions, concerns, whatever throughout the day or prior to, feel free to give me a call, 780-679-7927. Thank you again for agreeing to do this. It's a huge commitment to some when you're doing it all day, or a small commitment in the evening, but it's still a very, very important commitment. Thank you again, and have a great day.